Welcome to EB5 Investment Voice, where attorney insights intersects with immigration investments. If you are a foreign investor, domestic fund manager, or enterprising entrepreneur and want to get the most out of the EB5 program, you have come to the right place. I'm Mark Deal, and I'll be your co-host on this journey. I'm joined by your host, Mona Shah, and other attorneys at Mona Shah & Associates, as well as immigration leaders from around the world. So let's get into EB5 Investment Voice. Mona Shah, how are you doing today?
I'm very well, Mark. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. As always, I'm sure the person listening is used to hearing me be fantastic. The truth is, I am when I get to talk to you and the guests that you bring to the show. And I know today we have another special guest, Mr. John Lam.
Hi,
Yeah.
How are you?
Hey, John.
We're very proud to welcome John Lam to our show, Mark. He has quite an achievement. As you know, we try to bring as many developers as we can, not to have the show bombarded every week with developers. That's why we try to have a variety of speakers. But I would like to say that John Lam is somebody has 30 years of success in New York City. And New York City's real estate is quite a closed circle. You have to be better than the rest to actually succeed in a place like New York City. So I'm very proud of having him here, and just like to welcome you, John. Welcome.
Hi.
And Mona, I know this episode is going to be a little different than most because we're going to do it in both English and Chinese. And for that, we have Hui in the room. Hui, how are you doing?
Good. So John, when did you first come to the United States, and when did you actually get involved with real estate?
Actually, I come in the United States in 1969.
Wow, that's a long time ago.
Right, a long time ago, over 47 years. The beginning, I started my company in 1972 in lady apparel garment. We went from the small firm to the biggest firm in New York City. We employ over 33,000 workers. Then I become a garment association. I control over 35,000 workers in New York City.
That's an achievement at that age.
So, yeah. So then in 1980, I started doing real estate. And at the beginning, I doing buy and sell, then convert, condo and office.
Where was your first real estate project?
My first project is in Canal and Marshwood.
Canal and?
Canal and Marshwood. So that time I bought the first building, I think it's a little under $1 million. So today the value is about $70 million.
Gosh.
So the real estate jumped very fast in New York.
But back in the early 70s, $1 million was a lot of money also.
Yes. We have over 3,000 workers. Every year we make $1 million. So we buy one building every year.
Back in the early 70s, John, it wasn't so easy to get into the real estate market in New York City because people really didn't welcome the Chinese at those days. Is that correct?
Yes. Chinese people at that time faced to financing. The bank doesn't get loan to Chinese people. And most of the bank, they have a banking limit into the community. They make 100,000, 200,000. And then you cannot do anything. So you may only buy a house to live. You cannot buy any commercial buildings. That's why in 1985, we start our own bank with a couple of friends together. So we're the founder and directors. And
that was very smart.
Yeah. So that will help the community grow. We get a lot of deposits from the community, and we get loans to the community. So we make the community people could do bigger business.
The Chinese community.
Right.
So right in 1985, that's when you actually really became a figure, a leading figure in the Chinese community in New York City.
Yes. Because I came out of the bank, then I get a lot of information. When 1990, the real estate market dropped down.
Yes.
And right to 95, we go back to real estate market. In the 96, I bought a hotel. So we converted and we make it. The hotel business is good for me. But since from that time, I start doing new build hotels. Up to now, we all build 28 hotels, ground up and finish it.
20 hotels from the ground up. What do you mean?
28 hotels.
28, wow. When you say from the ground up, for listeners who don't really understand the construction business, what do you mean? Do you mean you actually did demolish and go right into the ground?
Yeah, we buy the building or buy the land.
Yeah.
We get architect finished the plan and we built up for franchise hotel in New York City.
Right.
And that time it's almost nobody ground up at that time. So we're the first one to do ground up hotel in New York City.
Right. Back in those days, they did more renovations, I think, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And you say brand hotels. What kind of brands?
Majority we're doing for Sheraton, Marriott, and Hilton's.
Okay.
And that three brand is a major brand in United States.
I think by this point as well, John, you had won quite a few awards from the city, right?
Yes. We almost every year get an award. The Man of the Year, Developer of the Year, and Community Award. And I was getting so many awards that I don't remember. So, but important, we getting every award almost every year from the brand. From Sheraton, we're getting the best ground up and the best limited service hotel and the best service award and Best Design Award. So we got all the awards from Marriott and Sheraton, and even Intercontinental and Hilton's.
But is there any reason why you chose New York City? I mean, I know it's obvious that this is one of the busiest places for hotels, but was there any reason that you chose it?
New York City is the big city in the whole world. Every year we have about 60 million tourists come to New York.
Yeah.
So New York, doesn't matter how many hotels you build, you never get enough hotel. Majority, a lot of traveler, they still cannot stay in New York. They stay in New Jersey.
That's right. It's still so too expensive. Or they just can't get a room.
Not yet expensive. If you said, I'm the tour, I want to reserve 100 rooms or 50 rooms.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible. Every travel in New York City is 85% occupancy. Our hotel is almost every year from 90 to 95% occupancy.
Those are high figures. So if you say 82 or 90% of occupation, how does that compare with other cities around the country?
Every travel in the whole country is about 65%.
65%,
Right.
and here we're talking New York, 85 plus.
Right. And the price is about 3 to 10 times more than the other city. You could get the same brand in other city, maybe like $100. Over here, you get $400. So,
Gosh.
That's a completely big difference, New York City, compared to the whole world.
Wow. So when did you actually consider using EB5 money?
Well, actually, I started to get my EB5 license 2012.
Right, but you thought of EB5 before then, right?
Yeah, I heard about it, but I didn't understand. I don't need it. So I figured I'd do the headaches. So when I learned more, I figured I need to bring more Chinese businessmen come to the United States.
Well, I thought we discussed this at one point, and you did say that you wanted to bring good projects for Chinese people so that you bring up the credibility of the program.
Yes, because I see a lot of developers and a lot of people, they get into it and the project in trouble, the project never finish it.
Exactly.
They get the green card, but they didn't get a permanent green card.
Or they didn't get their money back.
Yeah, or they cannot get money back.
Yeah,
so that's why I said we are the expert in the hotel, and we create jobs for New York City for the past 30-some years. It's over like 10,000 people. We create direct job for them.
So how many projects have you had for EB5 thus far in New York City?
2013 is our first project. That project is in Financial District, Seaport. That's a Marriott, Fairfield Inn. So we have a 40 seat, but we only do 9. Because at the beginning, I don't feel comfortable.
Right.
I want to make sure I know what is it. And also, I got a big one before I start doing.
Right, but I think that all of the investors on that first project were successful. They've all got their approvals, correct?
Right.
Yes.
The first project
Yep.
is 100% approval.
Right.
And 100% people all getting a green card, and the hotel is all open a year already.
Oh, the hotel's already open.
They're all open over a year already. So, and the second project we do,
Yes.
also in Financial District. That project have 2 phases. We started in 2014.
Right.
We got 80 seats. And the first phase, we already finished it and already opened the hotel already, the 4-point Sheraton. And the second phase is still building right now.
Okay.
And majority, everybody getting feedback from USCIS. Some people already start filing green card.
Right.
And some people, they're getting waiting in line to getting green cards.
So you fully subscribed on 3 projects, John. And where do your investors come from? Do they just come from China or from other places too?
Majority coming from China. Some people from India, they come from India, from other countries.
Germany as well, I believe.
Even Russia. So
Russia.
they see from there, they calling us and want to send some material and go to lawyer to contact us. So we do have a lot of lawyer referral, banking referral, and friend referral.
Right. So when they all come as referrals, there is a lot more pressure on you to make sure that you do a better job. But John, we've been doing EB5 for many years, and we've been working with a lot of big developers all over the country. And it's almost impossible to go through so many projects, so many investors and issues, especially with all the changes going in through a USAS, without hitting some hurdles. I think also that the Lam Group also hit a hurdle in the third project, right?
Yes. The first 15 people, we do have the reject. So I look at the computer and the report.
So the first 10 people, there was a rejection.
Right.
Right. And what was the rejection for? Do you know?
Well, they usually approve. And now they change it. That's why I look at the first quarter, they check in 1,864 case. So they have 637 people reject.
Well, they are getting stricter, without a doubt. USCIS are getting stricter. But, I mean, it would be unfair for me to ask you to explain the technicalities. But it's true that one of the reasons for the rejection, the reason for the rejection was really a technicality. The percentage, and this is how much in detail USCIS are looking at the documents, the percentage of the loan that is going out as a management fee. And something as small as that there was a little glitch on the percentage, and that was enough to cause annoyed, right?
Yeah, because we are an internal firm and we don't put expenses into the company.
Right.
We put all expenses in the development, but we make sure the investor doesn't lose money.
Exactly.
So that's we are too safe.
And also, in fact, it's so safe that USCIS also used as a reason for denial, that there was a guarantee of a return.
Yes.
Which what they read in the paperwork.
Yes, that's what they campaign.
I know you do say you're going to return the money, but you can't guarantee in the documents. You know that.
We don't really guarantee. We said that's what we pay, and we said they still have a risk.
Right.
The bank is the first lien on the property.
Of course,
so
of course.
The market went up so much.
Yeah.
That's why we have big cushion into it. So, but what happened? The market went down.
Right. So how have you taken care of these first rejections? And they're the first rejections from after so many approvals. How have you taken care of those?
I do the same thing every project. So I think right now we look at all the document.
Yeah.
So make sure, even I have no risk, I put enough risk in there. So make sure they see it's the same risk to other people. But most of the market compare our project too safe. We don't need them the E5 money. But on the loan, we do a very small loan from the bank, about 50%.
Right.
Normally, the bank gets us always 70%, but right now, we only ask the bank, give me 50% or 60%, no more than that.
Well, as far as USCIS is concerned, though, we took care of the rejections by filing a motion to reconsider to explain all of these technicalities, right?
Yeah. So we go to your firm and also other firm and other lawyer. They look to your project. Your project, no problem.
Well, apparently this issue has been brought up in a number of projects, as was confirmed by other major lawyers who said that this is a real issue with USCIS, and they're looking at small things like the percentage of management fees, which is such a small issue. We're talking 1%, 1.5%.
Yeah, and you said we give back 5%. It's a 1%, how you manage it?
Right.
And a lot of other firms, they may charge it like 6, 7, 8%. I said, the bank give me a loan, it's only like 2-3%.
Yes.
So why you have to charge 6-7%? This doesn't make sense.
Right. Well, hopefully it'll all be resolved. And moving forward, do you have any other EB5 projects out there right now?
Yes. Right now we have number 4 and number 5. Number 4, we have 80 investors. Number 5, we have 200 investors. The number 4 we didn't put out yet because that is the government involved and also landmark. So I make sure everything we clearly before we break ground. We already break ground over a year already. But I didn't put up the for it because the landmark doesn't give me 100% guarantee my project design is 100% proof. So that's why I put on hold. So I put the 5th project coming in the market right away.
Okay.
And the project, we already finished all the piling already. So we're now doing foundation. So the project should be very successful. And it's a high-profile project.
Yeah, the Virgin project, right? Right. John, we have had other developers on this show. And interestingly, one developer who deals with real estate in Manhattan, he told us that if the money wasn't correct at the time of the repayment, say 5 years from now when everybody's got their green card and the market is not doing as well, then he said he would not refinance at that point. If the investors had to wait a little longer to get their money back, then so be it. But he would only refinance or he would only sell when the market is good. Do you have that same attitude that, after 5 years, you'll only refinance when if the market is good?
Actually, we have very good relationship with all the banking.
Right.
Even the market doesn't financing, the bank still financing us. Especially in the Virgin project, the bank appraisal is a $750 million, and we only get the loan from the bank $220 million. So
right.
with the EB5 $100 million, so only $320 million. So it's less than 50% the bank fund appraisal. So if you could finish the project, we go to the bank to get 6%.
Yes.
No problem.
Well, 60. What about if the bank is only giving 40%? Then what would you do?
Even get 40%.
Yeah.
It's still enough to pay the bank.
Yeah.
And it's still enough to pay investor, just not pay them my investment.
Okay. So you don't get your money back.
So if they give me 50%, even my investment get majority come back too.
Okay.
So because the land value, I bought it into 2011, 2012.
Who owns the land?
I own the land.
Oh, so it's not leased or borrowed?
Not leased.
Right.
I 100% own it.
Okay.
I bought it in the worst time. That's why I get the land only less than half the price from today's market.
Okay, well, that makes a lot of sense. But it's nice to hear, it's good to hear different perspectives on the exit, because we all understand, how we create jobs and construction projects, but it's the exit, and why would somebody put their money into a project in a hotel in New York City? There are so many out there. So it's good to hear from the developer's perspective.
Yes, New York City hotel actually make more money than condo or office building. The hotel, 300 square feet alone, you could rent for $500. So if apartment, you can not even rent half the price. So that's why the margin in hotels are bigger than condo or apartment or office buildings.
Well, that's very interesting. And the other thing about hotels is that, of course, you have a higher job creation also.
Yes, the hotels always create jobs. And for the past 20 years, we create over 3,000 new jobs from the city already. Mm-hmm. It's all on records. So that's why, and everybody look at our create job issue, nobody have any question.
Well, thank you. Thank you, John. Now, Mark Hui is going to give her little pointers, do some translations, and perhaps ask John a question or two.
Sounds great.
大家好，那我现在对上面的播客做一个总结。林总呢，他是1969年来到了美国，然后刚开始呢是做制衣业哈，林总。然后呢，到现在的话呢，他们从1980年开始就进军房地产市场，从一个小的楼开始做，到现在的话呢，林氏集团呢已经在纽约市拥有了50个大楼，然后呢，拥有28家的酒店吧，林总。
对，我们建筑的50个大厦，28个酒店。
对对对，那么林总呢？当然我们还要提到，林总当年觉得说，整个房地产领域，比如说中国人进入的时候呢，获得银行贷款比较难，所以的话呢，林总他还在1985年的时候，自己跟其他朋友一起成立了一个亚洲银行，
对，带动银行，对。
对，然后来带动整个中国的社区提供这个贷款帮助。那么 Mona 律师刚才又问到林总说，那你为什么要选择纽约市这个地方来做自己的酒店呢？林总呢就提到说，因为纽约它大概每年有6000万的游客在这边，同时呢，纽约相比于全国其他地方，它的这个入住率是非常高的。像林总，你们酒店的入住率大概是在？
我们在入住率就平均就90%到95%以上。
这个入住率蛮高的。对。那么在这个情况下呢，林总就把它主要的这个建筑比如说房地产领域呢，它就是主要是在做这个酒店业。那么同时呢，我们也知道，我们律所呢跟林氏集团呢是在做整个投资移民项目一起来合作，所以的话呢，Mona 律师也问到林总说，那你们是什么时候来考虑用1:5融资作为一种融资渠道的？那么林总就是有提到说，从12年开始吧，林总你们就获得了这个区域中心的批准哈。
对。
然后你们是在什么时候做的第一个项目呢？
我们在这个13年的第一个项目，这个是曼豪酒店。那么我当时40个名额，我住了9个。那9个呢，因为我盖得太快了，所以我停下来。那9个呢，全部都他们拿到入卡了，而且呢，酒店也开业了。
哦，这个非常好，就是说现在还没有到永久绿卡阶段就已经开业了。对，这个特别好。那我也知道，因为我们也帮你们做第二期项目哈，我知道是2014年第2个酒店哈，已经开始。
2014年的酒店呢，我们要分2期。第一期是那个4 Sheraton 也是开业了。那么第2期呢，我们现在在建筑当中已经有很多人已经收到移民局的通知去拿联系绿卡，还在排队当中。
对，因为我们律所也有蛮多客户收到了526的批准的。
对，
这个也是一个蛮好的消息。那么咱们也知道，现在我们有第3期项目，有招募80个投资人，已经都招募完成了哈。那么这个第3期项目呢，它是在中城的25街。那么这个项目的话呢，因为我们也知道，这个不是每个项目都可能一帆风顺哈。那么我们这个项目现在是一个什么状况呢？
那这个项目呢，我们也受到移民局那个在16年开始检查。那检查里面呢，然后有10个人就给移民局拒绝。拒绝原因，他说我们太稳阵，太稳，完钱给一定有钱还给人家。不应该但是我看呢，我第1期、第2期都是同一个项目，都所以我看那个移民局那个网站的看到有1864个人检查，有637人，就超过1/3对拒绝，他们里面看到有改变的印象。
对，那因为我们呢也作为律师的角度，我们来讲一下，就是说，因为移民局呢现在对整个投资移民它的审核标准呢是越来越严的。像我们做第1、第2期项目的话呢，遇到同样的问题，我们补件就 OK 了。但在第3期项目呢，我们发现移民局看了非常非常细的一个点。那么我在这里讲一下，就是说他看到的2个点，它是第一个就是说，我们的文件上提到了有一个1.5%的贷款利息，如果移民局说我们减去了区域中心的运营成本之后呢，可能投资人他就没有机会获得回报。同时呢，因为刚才林总也讲，我们想把这个项目做得安全一点，所以呢，移民局说我看到你的条款里有一点点这个语言上有让他觉得说有一个保证获得利息的。当然呢，对于我们来讲，我们觉得他的理解有可能是不恰当的，所以呢，我们在现在这个阶段呢，如果是10个被拒绝的案子呢，我们已经就是向移民局提供了一个叫 motion 的，也就是说动议的这么一个提案。那么同时呢，现在新收到的一些呢，比如说他说有否定意向的呢，我们已经采用了新的方法去回复移民局，因为我们觉得我们的文件是正确的。当然我们现在在看移民局的他的最后的一个批复，对，但是我们还是蛮有信心的。
还有一点要强调一下，就是说我们认为正确，但是移民局跟我们之间有不同意见的这个文件呢，只影响到了前面的10位客户。我们在2014年8月之后递交的客户，他们的文件都是更新过的文件，所以的话呢是不会受到移民局判决的影响的，他们的文件都是更新过的。谢谢。
对，我们找过很多律师看过，我们项目是完全没问题，而且那个文件呢，里面都有提到风险，应该是没问题的。只有我们争取到那个现在我们在那个拒绝都应该是通过的。
对，那所以呢，我们现在就静待移民局的这么一个回复了。那林总，那其实我们看到第3期项目有这个小小的问题之后，那您对于1:5还有信心吗？
没错，我虽然呢有那个退出权，那我们认为我们公司是唯一的公司做管理做那个发展商，也要做那个投资移民那个项目，是唯一的公司能够管理所有国际品牌的公司，创造就业人数完全没问题，完全符合那个移民局的规矩。也找过几个律师看过那个文件上，他们都很有信心，因为我们那个项目就应该没问题的。就等于你去签证里面有5次通过。第6次去他就拒绝，但是你文件是正确的，第7次去又通过，所以我们就把上述递上去了，应该是没问题，可以全部通过的。
就是所以的话呢，就是说我们也在这里讲一下，就是林总他们现在第4期项目有一个维珍酒店，第5期项目呢 Victoria 这个酒店呢也是在积极的准备1:5文件哈，所以林总对于1:5还是非常有信心的。
对因为那个第4期我们是跟政府合作， 政府合作呢，因为我们公司有开过银行，有跟政府合作项目，所以我们的资金来源完全是没问题的。所以很多在那个网站上说我们的钱是有可能有问题，但是我每一年政府都看我，所以我们这个历史上40多年。这钱是清清楚楚的报税的做的，所有钱这个不是问题。那第5期呢，也是美国最大的精品酒店，是5星级的酒店，也是成本最高的酒店之一。所以这个项目呢，也是目前在纽约是最好的项目之一。
明白。今天非常感谢林总跟我们一起来做这么一个播客。
谢谢。
林总，我还有最后一个问题，就是我们知道美国的酒店行业它其实都有起起伏伏的嘛。那么如果那投资人也会关心这个投资款归还的问题。那么如果是到5年之后，这个酒店市场呢，这个整个大行情不太行的时候，那您是准备怎么样归还投资人款呢？因为我们其实也周围有很多开发商，他们的归还呢，比如说还款的途径是来自于银行的再融资。那么他们的想法是说，如果这个市场不行的话，我就等几年，然后再去银行再融资。作为林氏集团的话，你们是怎么打算的呢？
那我们在买那个地的时间呢，就在1112年，美国政府不借钱，最低潮的时间，很多公司破产的时间，我们出资1个亿来买那个地皮。那个地皮呢，现在增长到已经3个多亿了。那么所以你看到我们的成本呢是4点多个亿，但是呢，银行重估那个员工之后，这个是7点2个亿。那么7点2个亿里面呢，如果就算对房地产低迷的时间，银行这一半的钱我足够已经还掉了。
明白。
那最重要一点的就是我们公司全资拥有16个酒店，每年经营2个多亿的这个房租收入跟收租收入，这个里面呢，每年我们都有几千万这个盈余。那个盈余呢，就算那个项目融资方面，银行看到我们有这么多的盈余，钱绝对没问题借给我们，而且我们跟银行的关系是不是今天建的，是建立在30年、40年很长时间的。所以呢，很多时间就算银行不借钱做房地产的时间，他说我们借钱给你公司做生意，你们用去哪里我们不管了。所以我们跟银行的关系是特别好。
非常感谢林总的解答。
好
Thank you very much, John. Thank you, Hui.
Thank you.
And thanks, Mark.
Thank you for being with us today on EB5 Investment Voice. The topics presented in this podcast is informational in nature and is not to be taken as specific legal advice. If you have questions on the topics presented in this episode or other investment immigration needs, please contact Mona Shaw & Associates. Mona and her attorney staff can be reached at mshawlaw.com. That's mshawlaw.com. Make sure you don't miss our next episode focusing on a different aspect of the EB5 program by subscribing to the podcast. While you're at it, leave us a rating on iTunes. If you really found this episode valuable, share it with someone else that could benefit from this information. Until then, I'll see you on the next episode of EB5 Investment Voice.